Hey folks, me again, as usual. Just give me a thumbs up and let me know that you can actually see the title part. Yep, fantastic. Okay, today I thought I'd do something a little bit different. I thought I'd talk about some of the marketing models. You often hear me talk about models, and a couple of weeks ago we did that whole session on signature systems. Of course, all of you that have watched that have got your own signature system now, haven't you? It's all right, I won't ask for names or examples. So again, for those of you who don't know me, Geoff Hetherington, run my own coaching business for the last 12 years, helped probably about 180 business owners and businesses achieve what they want to during that time. For that, 30 plus years as a C-suite executive in Southeast Asia and here in Australia in about a dozen different industries. I'm a business continuity planner. I'm a certified marketing practicer, all sorts of bits and pieces. All of which I say is that I've been around the block a few times. Today, there's really not going to be much blah, blah, blah. It's just going to be usable stuff about marketing models that you can use. Time's short, so let's get in. The very basic point, your business exists to solve a problem or add some joy to someone's life by fulfilling a want or a need with one of your services or products. If you're not approaching your business from that point of view, it's going to be very, very hard to grow your business. If you're thinking your business exists to give your family a great lifestyle, that's part of it, but you can't give your family a good lifestyle unless, of course, you're out there helping someone solve some of their problems. The issue we all face, of course, is it is a million channel world out there. Lots of the channels might be getting clogged with AI bots and AI agents, but the bottom line is it's getting harder than ever to be heard. So if you want to be heard, you've got to have a very strong proposition to take to your marketplace. Now, bear with me because some of these models look a bit complex, but they're not, trust me. The key thing, and you've heard me talk about this before, is you need to go to market with a very strong value proposition or a unique selling proposition. We won't worry about USPs today, but this particular canvas, it's called a canvas, literally helps you to create a product or service or a suite of them that will help people with their wants, their needs, and their fears, and will hopefully substitute some of the stuff they're already using. You really use this by asking questions like what benefits, like what does the product actually do for people? You know, what's the customer experience with it? What features have you got? You know, these are the questions you ask, but really what it looks like here is, has anyone here ever used Evernote? Evernote is a note-taking app that you can get online, free and paid versions. They call it your second brain, but it is absolutely fantastic. And what they looked at was, okay, what do people want to use online? Well, people are scared of losing things, even though they can't spell it on this slide. It says losing things. They're feared of being locked into one system. They need to remember things, write things down, save information. They want a single system. They want it to be fast, and they want to be able to share notes with people. So this is what the customer wants. This is an amalgam which really comes down to the problem they've got. So what does this do? Well, it's simple. It's easy to sync. It's fast to use. It syncs across all your devices. So you can have one Evernote account and open it on any one of your devices. It includes images. It's very rich in metadata, which means searching's a doddle. It's everything everywhere. It'll take video files. It'll take audio files. It'll take things like that. You never forget because you can set reminders in it. It's like an external brain. You remember everything. So really, it gets rid of the idea of emailing to yourself, which is something I still do. And it gets rid of text documents. It gives you an app that can carry everything you want. So you can see how they understood what the customer wants, need, and was scared about, and turned that into a product that met their wants, fixed their needs, and reduced their fears. So a value proposition canvas, which looks like this, is where you start, as always, with the customers. What does my customer want? What do they need? What are they scared of? What are they worried about? What benefits, what pain relief can I give them? What features do I need to have in there to make it stand out? And what do I want the experience to be for customers? So that's a value proposition canvas. Once you've got your product together or your service together, the next thing you want to do is you want to get it out there in the marketplace. But still, another step first. You've got to use STP. STP stands for segmenting, targeting, and positioning. Segmenting is literally like, who is this for? I've got a problem. I understand the problem. I've got a solution, but who's got this problem? Where do I find them? And how do I start talking to them? So the first thing is you segment by exactly that. Who is this problem for that I solve? Targeting is, where do I find them? How can I get to talk to them? And positioning is literally where you position your business in terms of everyone who's got that problem. In other words, you should be the solution provider. So STP, if you're not doing that with your clients at the moment, think about it. Can you segment your clients? You already heard me talk at the start. I work with small business owners to get them to lifestyle business. But I also work with corporate captives. So I've segmented my clients, and there's sub-segments within there because, you know, if you do Bitcoin or you do day trading, I don't work with you because they're not segments I'm involved in or interested in. So segment your clients, decide how to target them and how to position yourself. You can also use this thing called a hook model. A hook model depends upon people having an internal or external trigger. Alan will be right across this sort of stuff. And that trigger causes them to take an action. Now, if you're on top of your game, you can give them some sort of reward if the action they take is one that helps your business, and maybe they'll invest some time. It probably looks better like this. And bear in mind, this is all very general stuff. Your mileage may differ. But firstly, you identify what motivates your customers and what they really want. In other words, what's the problem they've got that you solve for them? The next thing is you offer them a solution to the problem. The reward they get can be monetary, it can be free gear, or more important, it can be a reduction or removal of their pain. And then you can offer them a way to keep the pain away forever or to fix some other issues in their place. And that's the cycle. What's the trigger for them? How do you solve it? What action can they take through you? What's the reward they get? And then how can you get them to invest more time with you in fixing other problems? The next model is called the pirate matrix. Anyone guess why? Me hearties. That's right. I should have done this a couple of weeks ago when I had the eye patch on. R stands for acquisition, activation, retention, referral, and revenue. So where do you find your customers? That's acquisition. So social media, SEO, through SEM, blogs, emails, through the name of your domain, through campaigns you run, through affiliates, business development, through partnerships. Activation is converting visitors to paid customers. So how do you do that? Well, obviously you need them to come to your homepage, and it's about your products, features, and services. Retention, how do you keep them there? Well, you've got to create some interaction with people, and that's through emails, blogs, maybe an RSS feed if you're doing a newsletter, systems, events. There's all sorts of things you can do there, but you've got to keep a relationship going with customers if you want to retain them. Referral, of course, is where you want people to go with you. You want them to refer you, so you can use email. There are various referral widgets out there, viral loops, and get some affiliates going. Again, affiliates, joint ventures, and partners are great for getting referrals happening. And revenue, of course, is, well, that's where you pay stuff. And if you've got the right type of business, maybe you can make it a membership business, which means you can go for subscriptions and regular monthly income. So the R metrics are acquisition. How do leads find your business? How do your customers find your business? Right? Activation is, do they have a great first experience with you? If they come on a workshop with you, was it a fantastic workshop that blows their socks off, so they trust you and they want to know more about you? Once they've used your services once, so they come back to you. Anyway, do you make money? There's lots of people out there who are happy to help but don't charge. They don't know how to monetize things. I was talking with someone the other day who's got a very strong LinkedIn group, but he hasn't monetized it because he doesn't know how. But he's given fantastic service on there and should be getting paid for it. So revenue, do you make money from your customers? And referral, do your customers, are they fanboys and fangirls, so they recommend you and your services to others? So that's R, that's the pirate matrix. So you can take that and use that model. This is one I think is really, really important, and it's underdone. It's become a cliche, but it's mapping out your customer journey. So customers need to go through being aware they've got a problem, aware you've got a solution. They need to consider you in the marketplace full of all your competitors. They need to make a purchase. You need to blow their socks off with great delivery. And because you've done that, then the chances are they're going to refer and keep going ahead, or you can put them into a loyalty program, depending on what it is. You could be Coles Supermarkets and have your loyalty program, or you could just have an internal one. But unless you've sat down and decided those steps, where does your customer go? you're really firing blanks to a large extent. You've got to understand what it is the customer goes through when they work with you. So how do you make them aware of you? And when they're aware of you, how do you do, remember Google's ZMOT, how do you give them 7 hours of content for them to get through, whether it's YouTube or blogs and all that sort of stuff. But how do you get in front of them, get them to understand about you? And then when they do that, then it's time consideration. In other words, you've got to position yourself as the person who can solve their problem, and you do it in a way that's better or more credible or different from someone else. Then, of course, purchase, you've got to make it easy for them to purchase. And service delivery, it's so important. I've seen people's businesses almost teeter over the abyss because their delivery has been so poor. Remember, there's 3 main levers to run your business. There's revenue, there is capacity to deliver, and there's cost control. Capacity to deliver is where a lot of businesses drop the ball. Someone could love all your blogs and videos. They could think you're the right person to buy from, that you can fix their problem. They buy from you, they trust you with their money and their time, and you blow it on service delivery. The app doesn't work. The advice you've got comes straight from an AI, whatever it happens to be. Service is the main area people fall down. And loyalty expansion, well, that's where you try and keep people to hang around, and that's up to you. But if you haven't mapped out the journey you want your customer to take, you're probably missing a lot of touch points and a lot of areas that you can use to build your business more strongly. Remember, business isn't, most of us are not in a business that's purely transactional. They buy one thing from me, I sell it, and we move on. Most of us have multiple products, or we have products that could last for multiple uses. So we need to be looking at what is the journey we're putting people on. The other way you can do things is called account-based marketing. Traditional marketing is you throw a wide net, you attract a few people from it, you tell them the right story, and hopefully you convert them, all right? If you're using account-based marketing, you attack it like as if it's a business-to-business transaction. You find the type of companies that have got problems you can solve, but you can find people, right? You identify the key people in that company. You get their names, you get in touch with them from LinkedIn, you do all that sort of stuff. You engage with them, and then you get meetings, and hopefully you convert them. Really, it's a niching type exercise. It doesn't just have to be B2B, you can do it B2C. It doesn't have to be one person business to corporations. It can be you to another business. If you decide, so instead of saying select account, select industry or company, identify people and engage with them, and then you can try and convert them. It sort of looks like this. So where it says the word company, you think about business owner, okay? You can identify, that means create a list of business owners or industries that are best fit for your solution. Create customer profiles from that. Then expand these profiles with the contact information of the person you want to get in touch with or key stakeholders in their business. Engage them, send them a LinkedIn thing, follow them on Facebook, drop them something on Instagram, whatever it is, get in touch. Send them a cold email if you need to, but get in touch, engage with them, and then keep engaging with them. Don't be a squeaky wheel, but stay engaged, then hopefully get to a sales conversation. And once you've done that, ask them for testimonials and then use those to go back to people in the same industry and get things going. That's the account-based management thing. You've heard me talk a lot about growing your revenue, and this is a great way to show you how to do that. The lowest risk in terms of trying to grow your business is selling more of the same products to the same types of people. That's the lowest risk. It also is often the lowest path to growth, right? You can sell your same products to new types of consumer. In other words, you can tweak it, or you can talk to new people, you can expand your net. You can find new products to sell to your existing clients. Now, that takes a little bit of a risk because maybe your research isn't spot on and people may not want the product, but you can do that. And your highest risk is where you start selling a lot of new products to people you've never sold to before. Most of us tend to default to selling the same thing to the same people. It's a bit like the Einstein thing. If you keep doing the same thing, expecting different results, you're crazy, right? Product development's good, new products to existing clients. That's the one I think every small business owner should be existing in. Most of all, you've already got clients, you know, understand their problems. you can probably come up with new solutions or things to help them. Then I would maybe look at the next one, take your existing products and try and sell them to more people. But diversification, this one, yeah, maybe not. BCG stands for the Boston Consulting Group, and they're one of the world's biggest and still are. They make billions of dollars in turnover. And this is their famous matrix where they talk about stars and cash cows and dogs and questions, all right? Everyone wants a star. That's a product you've got that generates a heap of cash, which is really hard for other people to compete directly with. And it just keeps going on and on and on. A question mark might take a lot of cash from your business while you develop it, mightn't bring much in. So they often lose money. So you don't want a question mark product, right? A dog product, well, that's really easy to understand. Poor profit, low market share, low growth potential, and it costs you money. So if you've got anything like that in your current products or services, drop it. And a cash cow, fantastic. High market share, generates lots of profit based on things. So what you want to do is you want to try and have more cash cows and more stars, avoid question marks, and definitely get rid of any dogs you've got. And you know what? They develop that, and that's pretty much all they do into every business, and they earn billions of dollars a year with it. The next thing is called an opportunity canvas. And it looks a lot there. You can download this. I think it's there. jpattanassociates.com is where I got this from. And my apologies, I normally do my own graphics, but I ran out of time this week. So I've had to pull them from other places. But this opportunity canvas goes very much in line with the thing I'm talking about. What's the problem you solve? Who do you solve it for, etc. So you can see number one. First thing is, what's the problems people have got? Number two, how do we solve it? Number three, who do we solve it for? Are the solutions available today? Are the problems immediate ones they want to fix with? Are there future ones we could also help them with? How do people use your solution? How do we know they're using it? It's successful. How often will they use it? And the last one, what are the benefits coming into it? You can do this sort of thing. It really is the same thing I've been saying. What's the problem you solve? Who do you solve it for? Is it something they're willing to pay money for? Is it something they want to help with getting fixed up? How do they do it? Yeah, etc. It's really the same thing I'm talking about put on there. You don't have to worry about one of these, but it's useful to know. But opportunity canvas, just Google it. You'll see lots of places there. The key thing is if you're starting to use models in your business, is it's very, very easy to get overwhelmed. Then go down a rabbit hole just looking at something about unique selling propositions or those sorts of things. You know, the Boston Consulting Group matrix with the cash cows and all that sort of stuff. There are tens of thousands of pages written about that if you want. But everyone should have some form of marketing model in place in their business. It should be focused on the problems you solve and who you solve them for. That's the key to good marketing. That's the key to cutting through the million channel world, is talking directly to the people that you can help in a way they understand. You want people to go, oh, they get me. Not, oh, it sort of sounds interesting. It should be logical. There should be a logical flow to what you do with people. It's got to make sense to you. There's no sense trying to build a marketing model if it doesn't make sense to you. Some of those ones I've shown you there, you might decide the pirate matrix is exactly what you want to do. You don't want to do the cash cow one. You've got to find one that works for you. It must have progression, which is why the customer journey is the one thing on there I'd say every single one of us has to do. Where does the customer find out about us? How do they come to trust us? How do they come to pay us money? What do we do to blow their socks off, and how do we keep them coming back or telling other people about us? Your customer journey is absolutely important. If you're marketing anything, you must have a clear outcome, and you must make that outcome clear to the people you're talking to. If I need to lose 30 pounds in 3 months because I've got a wedding coming up, I need to say, work with me and I'll help you lose 30 pounds in 3 months or whatever it happens to be. You must be very clear in the transformation or the outcome. And you should also just treat it as a tool. It's a process to go through and something to revisit a couple of times a year, but it's just a tool. It shouldn't be the be all and end all. I've had clients get caught up in it and waste way too much time to the detriment of their business. It marries in very nice with what I spoke about a couple of weeks ago, having a signature system. Your signature system is what's going to help you stand out in a crowded marketplace, because it says, I solved this problem. I've got a method, a roadmap, a process, or a system you can follow, which is going to get you from in pain, out of pain, or from happy to happy, or whatever it is. It should be simple. But if you've got a marketing model and you've got a signature system, you are probably going to be ahead of 97% of all other small business owners, because they don't do it. So your next steps are do a little bit of research with Mr. Google, or rewatch this on the BCW and decide which model attracts, which model you think you could work with. Review your services and products against the model. You know, am I very clear about the product that I'm solving and who I'm solving it for? Review your client and or company profiles. Make sure that they still make sense. Decide the outcome you deliver for your client. Create the steps, which is your signature system, to get them there. Build out your signature system, make it a graphic so you can use it in your marketing as well. And if you need to talk about this, you can always grab a call with me. That's also in this stuff in the chat box. Any questions, folks?
Oh, thanks very much, Geoff. Anybody got any questions for Geoff? I know that, let me see, Desiree, you had a question in the chat box earlier on.
Yep.
Yeah.
There was a word that I didn't understand in your customer journey map. Thank you. It was really good. So I wrote it in the chat, but then I worked out it might have been a typo.
It could be. As I said, not all the slides are mine. I've had to grab them. I ran out of time for various reasons. Thank you, folks, for your nice comments. And yes, sorry, my head was in front of some of those slides. It happens. That's all right. I talked to them, so you should be okay.
Yeah, well, that's where I normally ask somebody. We couldn't see through you. Where was the transparency? That was brilliant as usual, Geoff. Thanks very much for that. What we've got is about 15 minutes. But first, before we do, and thank you for reminding me, Andrew, I keep forgetting this every week. All these smiley faces on screen, and I haven't captured you for the future by taking a screenshot of everyone. So if everyone would like to give us a big smile and a thumbs up, that'd be brilliant. Excellent. Thank you very much. Okay. What I'm going to do then is I'm going to just set up some breakout rooms so you can go in there and have a bit of a talk about what Geoff went through, talk with each other about what you're actually doing now and how you can improve what it is that you're doing as well. So I'll just give me a moment and I'll recreate these rooms. And we set up automatically, so we'll see what the Zoom gods do in connecting people here. And here we go, open all rooms. There we go. You should be able to see those now. I'll bring you back just before 1:30. Looks
We're
like
still
everyone's starting to
recording.
pop back in.
We're still recording, Alan.
Oh, I've forgotten that again. Okay. Thanks for pointing that out to me.